Republican issues warning about taking out Trump. This is terrifying. Democrats are trying to seize control of our nation. They do not accept the results of the 2016 election, and they hold nothing but contempt for the average Americans who elected President Trump. Conservative analyst Charles Krauthammer appeared on Tucker Carlson tonight to sound the alarm about the Democrats' plan to remove President Trump from office. However, the establishment plan to impeach President Trump would be a catastrophic mistake, according to Krauthammer. The Democrats are scrambling to take control of the House in 2018 election. If they win, the Democrats would immediately begin the process to impeach President Trump, even though he's not been formally accused of any crimes. Establishment politicians and unelected bureaucrats despise President Trump because he undermines their control over our country. The establishment has worked hard to convince the masses that they are the only ones who can solve our problems. If President Trump succeeds, it would prove that an outsider is more effective than the political elite. The bureaucracy is opposed to President Trump because he's planning to change the relationship between Americans and their government. He's taking control away from unelected officials and returning it to the hands of the people. The Russian collusion conspiracy theory has been the tip of the spear in the coordinated attack against President Trump. However, after over a year of investigation, no evidence has been presented suggesting President Trump had any illicit ties to foreign nations. Here we have a prosecutor looking for high crimes. With Watergate, you started with a crime and then you try to find out what happened. Here, they are looking for a crime, explained Krauthammer. So you have got a political establishment, mostly Democratic, but there are some Republicans who would like to see him taken out of office. Multiple American intelligence agencies posit that the Russian government interfered in the 2016 presidential election, but they never supported Donald Trump. According to some observers, Russian President Vladimir Putin may have interfered in the 2016 election and may have done so to retaliate against critiques from the American media and government who allege that he, Putin, cheated his way into office in 2012. Instead of attempting to help Donald Trump win an election, President Putin may have planned to cast a shadow over the American election process in the same way that our government casts a shadow over his most recent electoral victory. If Russia were involved, perhaps the Kremlin leaked the Democrat Party's emails to reveal the widespread corruption and collusion present in American elections. No, the Hillary election. That's the corruption and collusion. Ironically, when the Democrats call to impeach President Trump, they'll be playing right into Putin's hand. Even if unsuccessful, the calls for impeachment insinuate that President Trump cheated his way to the highest office in the land. If impeachment is successful, it would prove that the American people do not pick their leaders. Krauthammer explains this fear. It would cause a rupture in the country where people would say, when we people, the ones who have been abandoned, elect somebody we like, our guy gets taken out. I thought we had a stable democracy. Yeah, but why doesn't Krauthammer discuss the fact of all the illegal voter fraud taking place? Trump was elected by the American people. Hillary had empty gatherings. She couldn't get a crowd of 300 people together. Don't get me sick, too. He's not telling the whole story either, but let's take a listen.
A huge constituency of tremendous support and enthusiasm. Now, admittedly, this is one state where he won the biggest victory of all. But there are other states. And his address was to the Midwest, the place where he won the election. He wasn't very specific on policy, but he said, I'm bringing you guys back. I'm the only one who listened. You were abandoned. That's his appeal. That's how he won the election. And he's reminding the elites that that appeal is still there.
Watching this, I kept thinking, he's been in office 9 months since he got elected. From the very first day, people were saying, we're going to take him out. Now this investigation looks like it has the potential to do that. If that were to happen, some of these voters might conclude that they're not really allowed to pick their own president.
Well, that's why I think we're really headed into very choppy and dangerous constitutional waters. We know what the Democrats want to do. They want to get control of the House, and on day one, they're going to start impeachment. Now, I happen to think, as you know, I opposed the Trump candidacy. I don't think he's very well fit for the presidency. But fitness is not a...
He's not fit for the presidency? Oh, because he doesn't resemble the other crooks that have been in office for God knows how long.
...reason for impeachment and removal. High crimes are. Here we have a prosecutor looking for high crimes. With Watergate, you started with a crime and then you try to find out how it happened. Here they're looking for a crime. Perhaps they'll find one, I don't know. As of yet, I haven't heard of one. Collusion is unseemly, but it ain't a crime. So you've got a political establishment, mostly Democratic, but there are some Republicans who would like to see him taken out of office. I think that would be a catastrophic mistake. It would cause a rupture in the country where people would say, when we people, the ones who've been abandoned, elect somebody we like, our guy gets taken out. I thought we had a stable democracy. Again, I think he's unfit, but that's not the grounds for removal.
Yes, it's not the point. I mean, this will tell people it's a fake democracy. It's not real.
But what it means is, if you think a man is unfit, you vote against him.
Right.
But you don't remove him from office. And that's where I'm afraid we are headed, given the forces that are surrounding the president. I just hope that cooler heads prevail. There will be another election. There always are. People can make their choices. I think this appearance that he did in West Virginia tonight is a way of saying, my numbers may be down, but I command a formidable army.
So for our viewers who didn't catch any of the president...
What numbers are down? They're not down. His numbers are way up. The American people are behind him. Don't look at the 20% of the snowflakes. Come on. That's a joke. His numbers are not down. And I disagree with Krauthammer. He's not capable.